Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm comparing different brands of buff titanium, colors that has always attracted me, but that I have always considered slightly difficult to use. So today we are comparing different brands and also try a sketch with it. I'm Elisabetta, your watercolor artist friend from Italy. Okay, of course we start with Benchmark brand, and I think that the benchmark for buff titanium is Daniel Smith. PW61 is unbleached titanium white. You know that titanium white is PW6, and if it has some traces of iron, it is slightly darker. It has a glow in it. I hope you can see it. And it's called PW6 column 1. So it's a different version of titanium white. It's unbleached. And this one from Daniel Smith is a glowing warm gray. It is really beautiful. They also have a titanium gray, but I'm not swatching it today, maybe later in a corner here, which is, this is gray titanium and it's made with PW6. I'll look up what is the difference between the two. It's one single pigment, gray titanium. Then we have a Gallo, same pigment. Very easy to re-wet. I just put a drop of water, didn't have to wait, and it immediately reactivated my color. It's slightly maybe less yellowish than Daniel Smith, but very, very similar. Very, very similar. Slightly cooler, but let's wait until it dries. Szmal. Szmal. It's in a full pan, as per tradition. Same pigment once again, and it's very similar, incredibly pigmented. More pigmented than a Gallo, I would say. Very beautiful. This is great for urban sketching, for buildings, I think. This is the warmer, I think, so far. It's very similar, but slightly darker probably than Daniel Smith. Then we have a different formulation, and it's Rembrandt. I have never tried it. I have only used Szmal and Daniel Smith so far, and Van Gogh. And Rembrandt uses two pigments actually, so I think it's going to be different. It is titanium white PW6 with the addition of PBr7 natural iron oxide, and it is definitely whiter. I think it's much less interesting. Too bad, because I have a big large tube. But for mixes is okay, but if you want to use it straight from the tube, I think that Daniel Smith, a Gallo, Szmal are more interesting, because there is a glow in them that you don't really see in Rembrandt. You see that it's very opaque also. Van Gogh, more or less the same solution as Rembrandt, because you know the cousin brands, they're both from Talents. But instead of titanium white, they use different white. They use PW5, and it's less grayish, slightly more glowing. It can happen that Van Gogh has prettier shades sometimes than Rembrandt, which is the artist grade. Van Gogh is the student grade, but sometimes I think that Van Gogh as a follower made me recently notice. They have prettier shades than Rembrandt. Then we have a very interesting brand, Wallace Seymour. It's a handmade brand from UK, North Yorkshire. And this is PW1028, which is calcium silicate. Not sure in chemical terms what it means, but it's a different, completely different. It's white, but a different white. It's very beautiful. It's more beige. It's very thick, very pigmented. It has a subtle yellow undertone, and look how pretty it is. Very interesting, different from the others. Very, very interesting. Very beautiful, this Wallace Seymour. Then, surprise, surprise, I got from my husband for Christmas this Da Vinci little set, together with other 2 sets, and I will swatch them very soon. It's the first time in my life I try a Da Vinci PW6 titanium buff. Here, it's a half pan. They also sell tubes, but I wanted to try many colors, so I bought pans. It's slightly less warm than Daniel Smith and Roma Szmal. It's more like a Gallo, I would say. Very pretty. Very, very pigmented. Then I have 3 colors that are not called buff titanium. They are multi-pigment, but I wanted to include them here because they might be comparable. One is Natural Beige by Kuretake. Kuretake recently has listed the pigment on their website. A follower made me notice this. Before they were not available, but they are now. And this is PW6 with yellow iron oxide, so PY42, yellow ochre. And it's very nice, glowing mixture. It's called Natural Beige, but it's not really comparable because it doesn't have these cloudy textures that they have. It's more a smooth, flat wash, as you see. This is buff titanium, is more cloudy, slightly granulating. This is very smooth and flat, but interesting. The same, similar solutions we have from White Nights. This is Petersburg Ochre by White Nights. Anyway, while I fix this binder problem, I'll let you know that White Nights was my first, one of my first artist brands that I had. I have this set of full pans that I found very, very pleasant to use. Really a very nice brand. But unfortunately, after the war, I stopped using it. But actually, maybe they have nothing to do with the war. It's nice paint. I just prefer to use the Rosa Gallery from Ukraine. And this is Petersburg Ochre, and it has 3 pigments. In any case, White Nights is a very lovely brand with a great price point. And it has yellow ochre, PY42, PBK8 fine black, and PW6. It's a muted yellow. It shows they use black. PBK8 is a fine black, and it's derived from carbonized plants. I don't know, it's slightly dirtier. It's pretty, but I still prefer the original buff titanium. And then they have this Dune, which has PY42, Nice, it's quite pigmented. This is PY42 with PBR6, which is a brown. It is a synthetic calcinated iron oxide, a brown, almost a black, a very dark brown, with PBK7 black and PW6 titanium white. And it's a flat dark beige, and these two colors are much less interesting than the original titanium buff. I don't think they are a good replacement. Okay, now we let them dry and I try sketch. Now these colors are completely dry, and so we can draw our final conclusions. Immediately I can pick my favorite, and they are Daniel Smith, Roman Szmal and Wallace Seymour. Da Vinci and Gallo are close, but they don't have the glow, the brownish glow that Daniel Smith, Roman Szmal and Wallace Seymour have. Van Gogh is also quite pretty, it has a glow, but Rembrandt, it's a bit dull. I don't know, I prefer the Van Gogh version. I wouldn't have noticed these differences if I didn't swatch them side by side. And these three that I have included actually have nothing to do. The natural beige is pretty for florals. I think this would be very pretty. The white lights I don't like very much. They're a bit dull. maybe you can use them in landscape. I should study them a little, but I'm not really crazy about them. The Curatak is nice for florals, I can imagine, because one of the uses of buff titanium is clouds, buildings, florals. And let me just swatch the titanium grey, then maybe next time we can try it in a separate video. Okay, yes, you see it's more like the warm grey by Sennelier, which is a lovely color. So I will compare these two in a separate video because it's different, but I think that you can use these for mixes in a very nice way. Look at how pretty it is. It's glowing, it's still glowing, very nice. So beautiful color. Lisa Steele, which is an artist that I admire a lot, she says she doesn't use buff titanium, but she uses a mixer to replicate it, which is she uses a mix that is a transparent red oxide, French ultramarine, and Monte Amiata raw sienna. So let's try it here. This is the transparent red oxide by Rembrandt. Wow, a beautiful color. Look at this. It's almost like quinacridone burnt orange. Then she uses French ultramarine. And Monte Amiata. Okay, this is Monte Amiata. And she used this mix for buildings. And look at how pretty it is. It is almost a buff titanium, don't you think so? She's a genius for me. Because for buildings, this is beautiful and you can vary the ratio for clouds. But look at this. Looks very much like buff titanium. Adorable, adorable mix. So, transparent red oxide, French ultramarine, and raw sienna. This is the Monte Amiata, but maybe any raw sienna could do this, could take its place. Look at this, really beautiful. One last exercise that I would like to do is to mix buff titanium with some of the main colors on any one palette.
Cadmium yellow, scarlet, madder rose, cobalt blue, burnt sienna, Prussian blue, dioxazine violet, phthalo green,
So as per the mixes, I have used buff titanium. I have mixed it with cadmium yellow, and the result is a muted yellow, almost a yellow ochre. Here you see the original color. Cobalt blue, it's not like PW6, it doesn't give just a pastel color, it gives a muted pastel color, so it's very interesting. With burnt sienna, you could use this for portraits. Same with scarlet, it becomes slightly peachy. Remember that there is a glow, like a yellow undertone. Actually, if you mix it with Prussian blue, there is a sort of greenish glow. Look at this. That's why also it's so beautiful in clouds, because it gives a glow to blue. Mother Red, PR177, peach, same with scarlet. Lovely peach, that would be lovely for cheeks, for instance, cheeks and rosy areas in portraits or botanicals. With Mother Red, PR177, slightly muted pink. Dioxazine Violet, I wouldn't know, it's not lavender, not sure I would use this. And with Tallow Green, it's a bit artificial, I'm not sure I really love this, but some mixes are very interesting, especially with scarlet, cadmium yellow, Prussian blue, and look at this, it is absolutely adorable. Burnt sienna as well, just play with it. Do you have a favorite mix? Just let me know. Okay, this was of course just a quick sketch to see what I can do with this color, and I have read extensively the possible uses. It's mainly clouds, animals, botanicals, building. I will try all of them, but for today I have drawn a polar bear because I like them so much, and I must tell you, it's almost like cheating. I mean, it's so easy to draw a polar bear using titanium buff. It almost gives, be careful, a greenish undertone when mixed with blue. I used just 2-3 colors. I've used yellow ochre, titanium buff, Prussian blue and ultramarine blue, and some burnt sienna for the grey, and the black here, and to mix with the French ultramarine. Just very quick sketch, loose, just to see what happens when you use this color. And yes, as I said, it's almost like cheating because it's so easy to draw animals with this. It was seriously 5-10 minutes, no more, but the effect I think is very, very lovely. So believe me, if you don't have titanium buff, just get one and start playing, because it's very nice. I think that buildings will be my next sketch using titanium buff. I'm not very good at botanicals, so flowers is not really my cup of tea, but buildings, animals are. So this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun to sketch. Here, maybe proportion is not perfect, but who cares? And have fun. And let me know, of course, if you use titanium buff, if you use it, what you use it for, what brand do you have, what mixes you use with titanium buff. You use it straight from the tube or you use it mixed. And let me know everything about titanium buff, your experience. I know the core is a titanium buff. If you have it, please let me know how you find it. And thanks a lot for having watched this video with me. I wish you all happy holidays, and I'll see you soon on this channel. Ciao ciao, ciao from Elisabetta, ciao.